Good evening. Ira Epstein with your SPDR ETF Stock Market Wrap-Up, and this wrap-up is for the evening as we're here now on Monday and we're at the 7th of July, 2025. Now, before I get any further, let me get this part out of the way. Our 40% sale on any of the research, but let's talk your SPDR ETFs. 25 videos typically in a month, each 15 to 20 minutes long. They cover a whole range of different markets that we cover. And in addition, if you have a question on a certain stock, SPDR ETF, you write me, I create a small video for you to answer the question if I know the answer. Otherwise, I'll say, hey, I don't know what's going on. But if it's chart analysis, yeah, that's included. Special reports comes right with it. I always recommend this, the combo package, if you're a SPDR ETF person, because you get to see the morning video and how many of the different SPDRs ETFs are based today on the futures market, a massive amount of them. So you see that at 6 in the morning, and I start recording the SPDR ETF at about 9. They're ready to view probably 9:40, 9:45 by my design. And the reason is I let the first half of the hour of trading from 8:30 till 9, that is Central Time, go by me. I'm looking for the reports to come out, and there's a lot of them in the economic data. I'm looking for the overnight money to get itself settled because there's aftermarket trading. And then I'm looking for the market with the analysis, and I'm going to go through about 40 charts for you. So you put that all together. I think you got plenty of time to play with this. And we track each and every trade as they're open from the recommendation. Win, lose, what did it do? It's a mixture of long-term and short-term trading. So you can make your mind up from there. If you're interested in the courses, 40% off on any of those. Just go to iraepstein.com. You can see that right here. You can click any of the coupons as well. And you just go to research or courses. All right, let's now take a look at what happened today. And as I'm talking here, if you get concerned, hey, there's an awful lot to read by my design. And the reason is what I'm interested in showing is what President Trump set today. The lowest tariff I saw set in about 14, 15 countries was 25%. The max was 40%. Are we getting the guardrails? I think we are. We're seeing that if countries don't come to him in the way that he wants, he can either keep the tariff where it's at, he can punish them, but just about every one of these, the word is down. Do you see that? So you're not seeing the word up. That is important to me. So the first group, it's very hard to take these and extrapolate what's going to happen all the way through, but 25 to 40%. But if you're a little country and you've got goods coming to you, Cambodia is not a little country for exports. All right, 36% rate, but it's down from 49, so he was generous with that. Japan's rate stayed at 25%. It went up 1%, all right? He's punishing them for the cars. And they didn't buy the rice from America. You do understand what he's doing there. At the same time, he kept South Korea's unchanged. Remember, that's Genesis, that's Hyundai, and Kia cars. So you've got a heck of a lot of cars that come here. Malaysia went up 1, all right? So when I say they didn't go up much, 5%, 7%, 8%. Now, you see more coming down than up from that. Example, Laos, that was from 48 to 40%. So you just can go through this. You can also hit pause and you can read what they are, okay? Next, what we've got tomorrow is the National Federation of Independent Business. This is going to be their June Optimism Index. That'll come out at 5. Redbook Group will come out with their weekly retail sales. They're hovering 4.5% to 5% typically now. Federal Reserve, we're going to get the May U.S. consumer credit data. Now, remember, that's for May, so it's a month behind. And analysts are forecasting the May credit to expand by about $11 billion because we know the consumer spending still very solidly in the market. You're going to get at the end of the day tomorrow API numbers on the energies, all right? So that's where you're at with this. Now, obviously, today, the punishment came to who? Tesla. I don't understand why Elon Musk isn't just staying with what he should be doing and fixing his company. But Tesla today down $21. That's not a pretty picture of what's going on here. The stock market was down. The indices were down. And tonight in early trade, we have all of the futures market just before I was doing this down on the day. Now it is Tuesday. The markets were down. Tuesday's often a reversal day in stock indices. We'll see if we get one of those reversals. The market held okay, but certainly nothing to go home and say, okay, I'm out of the woods, it's coming back up for me, and the tariffs are done. What the market realizes, you're going to get these tariffs every day. We know that they're not going now into effect until we get to August 1st. So the groups that just got them, they have time to run back to the president, make a better proposal before August 1st comes, and see if he'll work with them from those numbers. Again, the art of negotiation, and he does it very well, but he's now sent the message to everybody as to what the deals look like. And, obviously, if you're not playing ball, it appears 25 to 40% is what you can expect that you're going to get a letter for. All right. In my newsletter, I included a copy of the letter. I gave you the analysis of it and all that today. That's what my reports do. They really bring you up to date on all this. All right. So Netflix getting hit. There's some downgrades coming. All of a sudden, we're seeing CrowdStrike. We're seeing Netflix. A lot of the analysts are looking at price versus the forward earnings, what they think these companies can do, and they think they're getting too rich up here. And the reality is you're around 24 times earnings in the S&P, and that does get a bit rich in price. As you can see, XLC came down a little bit today. Amazon, we've got several days now of the prime, so we'll see how they do. They're all in with both feet. GM got hit today. Ford got hit. I saw Rivian. A lot of these were down as we went through it. AMC not holding up. And these are all the big blockbuster movies. I warned you about that a long time ago. I was impressed with the metals. Look at the SIL, up 81 cents today. So the miners are doing there. Copper was down pretty good today because the markets are concerned with these type of tariffs. What's going to happen to copper demand? The same I can say of silver. They're both industrial metals. The gold market came alive and was able to hold up, thinking this is inflationary. Uber got a nice bid, probably at the expense of Tesla, realizing just what's going on there in terms of, Musk just coming out and wanting to take on with a third party now. The U.S. scene reminds me of Ross Perot. I don't know if any of you remember him, but he tried that. Didn't go very well. In SBUX, as you can see, again, this is Starbucks. And by the way, tell me what you want me to cover starting on Friday. Give me a chance, write that on my YouTube page, and I will take a look at a number of these. But you can see the sideways action that we're going in right now, and the pattern today was ugly. You've got an outside day to the downside. So you took out the highs and lows of Thursday. The markets weren't open Friday. You closed lower, and it also gave you lower highs, lower lows. So the swing line turned down, and in order to negate that, you've got to take out today's high on either Tuesday or Wednesday. Where did the market fall back to? The support of the 18-day average and the 100-day average in green. What stopped the rally? The first challenge of the 200-day. I wanted to continue with this because it's the same thing that happened before. And that's very typical. Where the Bollinger Bands, it was right with it. So, and again, it was right with it back here. So you can see that that combination's been rough. You can only go to that well so many times and eventually you bust through it. So something to think about. Number two, you have a market that is not overbought or oversold, just sort of drifting right here. So at this time, you have the bias up because the price was over the 18-day average. That turns down if you close under the 18-day average tomorrow, which for the moment, it's 92.92. That'll change when the market opens. And because you're going to lose some quotes from back here, it's probably going to go higher. Then in MP, Materials Corp, lower highs, lower lows, slipping down. The rare earths not going anywhere today. DoorDash picked itself up. negated the downtrend. It had a bullish reading that it lost and never did make it to the 18-day average. Should the market get over that high right up there, while it's still going to be at a Bollinger Band, it's saying, in plain English, this is not a market that wants to go down very much, if down to the 18-day average at all. When I look at Google, higher lows, but suddenly lower highs, and an overbought market. So I think it's going to just sort of hang in for a little bit to see what goes on. Netflix, I want to see how the market does if it can get back to the 18-day average. That's the 1260 level. Didn't we talk about 1250 last week? And I said the market made a run towards 1350. It's probably going to come down in similar $50 increments, not too far off. That's what I want to see if it can do that. Robinhood. It was so far ahead of itself and it lost its bullish embedded reading. This could be where the market gives us an $8 to $10 break. It could be. And take it back to wherever that 18-day average is. And long term, I'd be looking at the weekly charts then to see, does this offer something really important? Let's go to the next one, Tesla. Tesla's just bearish right now. It is oversold. That's the thing going for it. And it's approaching the 100-day average again in the Bollinger Band. But every time that Musk seems to just open his mouth and take a political action, the investors don't like it. Forget the American public. The investors don't like it. They want him to get back to work, take on these Chinese companies, get his car sales up again out of Tesla. Right? He's alienating a lot of people. My son's in California, and there's parts there, you know, the thinking. And he was telling me a lot of the people that he knows, because he's a forest ranger in the middle of there, they're abandoning Starlink because of him. They love the product, but the backlash isn't needed. He's a businessman. There's a point at which you should back away. And I don't think he gets that, and I don't think he can be told anything. Lower highs, lower lows coming down right there. In stocks, higher lows, higher highs. You see what's going on right through here. The market, if it loses the embedded reading, you're going to get then the beginning, I think, of a correction. It's got to hold now. You're at a very important part of the market tomorrow. Tuesday's a down day today. Do you get reversals? Does the market look at other tariffs that come out and understand what I do, that so far at least, you can see those guardrails where they're at, and they seem to be 25 to 40%. Is 40% the new high punishment number? I don't know. In XLF, higher lows, higher highs, and the financials also gave ground today, sinking back, but still embedded readings. So I'm still of the bullish camp, but lose these bullish readings all at one time, and I think you got to reassess the market. I'm not saying that'll happen. I'm saying that's what I would do if it does. A bullish reading in XLI. So I'm viewing this break so far as a buying opportunity. Got to be careful with it, but that's what I'm viewing. And I would be trading it light, not heavy, making sure as to where it's going to hold before you go and plunge in deeper. XLE. I am so surprised that crude didn't go down further today. Really surprised. Here you're going to get an increase of another 138,000 barrels a day in August. And my guess is they're going to go even bigger in September because OPEC is out to grab their market share back. They even raised prices in Asia, and yet the market didn't break today. That was very strange. Not one word today, since we're out talking energy, about Israel and what's going on with Gaza, because we know that Netanyahu is with the president today. I haven't heard one word on it. I'm going to read later and see if something else came out. And so far, nothing out of Iran. And that's good. In the gold market, you can see how gold gave you a spin. You have an outside day up, but the market has a pattern of the swing line up and the bias down. To get friendly again, you've got to close over the 18-day average and roughly the 308.69 level. In SLV, the silver trust, market staying bullish. I like silver, as you know, and I've said that. I think it's catch-up time for silver to gold, and so far it's doing chart-wise what I would expect out of the market. Then we come to the copper market, and you could see it got hit today, and you'd expect that to a big degree, given that the market's going to see tariffs for the next 2 days, and it's the canary in the mine. Everybody's going, how's this going to affect my business? How do I survive the U.S.? How can I export anything to them at 40% tariffs that they'll buy? These are what's going through a number of countries' minds. How they do it is they abandon what they gave the president, and you come in at lower numbers that you can't afford. That's basically what it is. It's a negotiation, and he's a rough guy to negotiate with. In BND, well, the market's looking and going, I don't know. I watched now the 10-year note go from last week, 422 and a fraction, to now you're pushing 12 points higher. That's a lot. You're pushing near the 435 level all of a sudden. Dollar got a bid on this. You'd expect that off the higher interest rates and the uncertainty that's going around, but that's all that it is so far. It's not a bull move. It is a bear market rally into the 18-day average of closes, and FXC, as you could see, dropped back, got under this 107.92 area. Yeah, got to 107.88. It deserves a red arrow here pointing down. It's probably going to lose the embedded reading tomorrow and need to do more sideways action. Could be the end of this run momentarily. So we will see what the markets want to do for you. You put it together, you come up with the game plan. You know the one that I have for you. It's really simple. Take advantage of your 4th of July sale. I'm Ira Epstein. I'll see you all in the morning updates and again in the other updates I do tonight. I hope you enjoy them. Take care.